A lot is being said about Jasprit Bumrah's recent stress fracture, which has definitely ruled him out of the T20 World Cup and possibly beyond. So, what's your take on this?
Bumrah is a very unique case. He's got an action which is his strength as well as his weakness, right? He kind of has a hyperextending elbow. He's got a very short run up and a bit of a pause when he's about to bowl, which puts batsmen off guard. They're not able to really gauge his pace, which is his strength. Now you know that he bowls at a pretty good pace. I'm 145 plus all the time. Like somebody was saying that he is a mix of Wasim Akram, Shoaib Akhtar, and the run-up of Wasim Akram, the extending elbow of Shoaib Akhtar, and the guile of Lasith Malinga. He's got that. Bowlers normally, when they jump and bowl, the opposite leg, like if you're the right arm bowler, his left leg, left limb, the ankle, knee, and hip takes a lot of stress, a lot of load, almost 8 to 9 times of your body weight, more than 500, 600 kgs, right? And think about that. He's repeating that over and over again with that action. He's got open-chested action and prone to injuries like what happened to Ian Bishop back in the late 80s and early 90s. Obviously, he has to go through a rehabilitation process now. His physios and the SNC specialists would get him back on the field, and at least from here on, they manage his career pretty well in terms of how they use him for international commitments.
So, just as an example for a fast bowler like Bumrah, what areas would a specialist focus on?
Definitely his, like I said, his ankle, knee, hip is going to take a lot of load. His back is a very weak area. His legs, his knee takes such a lot of amount of stress. If you see his bowling action, you'll see he is all, the limb is straightened up, the arms up, back going down very hard. He's getting that momentum in the last 4 strides. I mean, he hardly takes 8-10 step run up, out of which the first few is walking. The last 4 or 5 is where he puts in everything. So that much more load which comes in as he's about to release the ball, right? So a trainer who understands this, who knows that his back needs to be strong, his knees and legs, which means his leg muscles have the capacity to withstand that kind of load with that kind of an action. SNC specialist would understand these concepts. Notwithstanding his load management, etc., has to be taken care of. But this is something that they could do. Like we have examples in Australia how Mitchell Johnson earlier has come back from injuries, bowled like he never did before. Stark is taking this break because they all understand this whole thing, right? And maybe I think it would not be a bad idea to put him on to a specialist. But nothing will override the fact that in his case especially, you need to really manage his career better.
What would be your advice for budding young fast bowlers to have an injury-free long career?
Don't leave fitness to post your late teens, right? It should start way earlier. When I say way earlier, doesn't mean that you need to lift weights, etc. when you're pre-adolescent, etc. But then, fast bowling especially is a very neuromuscular based activity, explosive. You need to develop these kind of physical parameters much earlier in life, capture those windows, and get to a stage where, when you are in that stage, when you're in the 17, 18 years, you're the strongest there. It's not just about bowling. I know there are a lot of proponents who say it's not needed. For example, recently Virendra Sehwag said that he had seen Sachin Tendulkar lifting 8-10 kgs. So he says that it's not required. Well, he's Sachin Tendulkar. He comes with truckloads of talent, right? You can't just take one model and say, oh, you know what, I saw this guy training this way, so let's train this way. No. It has to start early. The process starts right at the beginning, and it has to go to a point where when they are reaching the elite levels, it's like we said earlier, it's a cumulative benefit that they take away from what they've done in the earlier years. it could go either ways. You trained wrong in earlier years, it can go down. If you're trained right in earlier years, it can go up.
So if you're an aspiring sports person aiming to achieve your genetic potential, log into sportshala.com and subscribe to our athlete program, where you can work with experienced coaches like Ram to improve your fitness, strength, and overall performance.